Hi there, it's Sam from poodles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one. It's a charming little box that when you untie the ribbon, or the twine I should say, and open it like that, opens up like that. It's a 1 3/4 inch cube, 4.5 centimetres, and it's just charming. I'm not going to bother trying to put that back together because you don't want to watch me tie bows unnecessarily. And you can make 2 of them from 1 sheet of cardstock because your piece of card measures 8 inches by 5 1/4. So for us who work in metric, we've got plenty left over. That's what we've got left over. For those of you, sorry, International A4. If you work in 8.5 by 11, you've got plenty too. So 8 by 5 1/4, 20 by 13.5 centimetres. And on the long side, get the right end in. I like the thicker end, the thicker tip when I'm scoring on cardstock, well actually when I'm scoring anything. So on the long side, score it at 1 3/4, 3.5, 5 1/4 and 7, which in metric is 4.5, 9, 13.5 and 18. And then turn it round and score it at 1 3/4 and 3.5, which is 4.5 and 9. Okay, so let's get this burnished up. Love it, it's so cute. So I've gone for Nature's Poem, or Rooted in Nature. That's what I've gone for. That whole suite is just delightful. It's in the annual catalogue, which I feel like I haven't picked up for ages, so I've been deliberate in the last week or so making sure that I have. And so this is the paper I'm going to use. So it's the similar pattern as this one, but instead it's got mint macaron instead of the Blackberry Bliss. Okay, so you've got a shallow bit here, and then these are all cubes. We want to keep just that part and that part. So get rid of that one and the one to the other side. So we don't need those, and that's what's going to come up and wrap round and go across the front like that. So that means we need to separate these bits. So I'm cutting straight down the outer one and wedging it in, and straight down that outer one and wedging in. And I'm also going to chop off a chunk. Okay, and I'm going to repeat the same over here. So straight down, wedge in, straight down, wedge in, chop off a chunk. Such a technical word, chop off a chunk. Okay, I'm going to round the corners of this end. So I've got my detail trio punch. Used that quite a lot recently. At least I'm chopping the right parts. And then my piece of DSP, although I'm not going to put it on really at this point, it's 1.5 by 7 3/4, so it's 4 by 19.5, and I'm just going to round off one end while I'm here. Okay, so that's going to stick on there and wrap itself around, but I'm going to put the box together first. So strong adhesive in here, and that one. That's going to match to the back, as is that one. And bring those round and line them up as well. And just use your fingers to hold it all in place, because Tombow needs a few seconds to go off, but is remarkably strong when it has gone off and dried perfectly. Okay, so I'm just laying this on, so I'm looking to see that I've got an equal border around, and I'm going to bend gently there And I'm going to bend gently there, bend gently there, and bend gently there. And that glue has not dried. It will. So I've just begun to get an idea of where I want to burnish. So I'm just going to reinforce with my fingers. I'm just making sure it's lined up on either side, and then I won't get a wibbly line, because nobody wants a wibbly line. Okay, so, oops, snail on one end, so this is the end that's going to come up here. And wrap it all the way round. I'm going to put some more adhesive there. And fold it up. And don't worry that it doesn't match up there, because it's going to get covered over. And now what I want to do, where's my paper piercer? I'm just going to go into the middle, so I know it's gone through that layer of cardstock, and I'm hoping it's made a little dint. Yes, it's made a little mark there for me. And I'm using my hand-held punch to go through both of those holes. They were a guide more than anything. And then I'm bringing in my mint macaron twine. So you get 4 reels in a pack. There's the other one. You can see it's a very popular one, because I actually have multiple spares. So I'm going to go with mint macaron for this one. And I'm grabbing off a length. And it is quite curly, this one, so if you're not over keen on the curl, run your fingers or a bone folder down it and it straightens it up. And what I'm doing is I'm folding it in half, so that I've got this half here, and I'm going to poke it through, hopefully. Apparently not. Something to poke it through with. There we go. So that's that double end. Why is that alarm going off on my phone? Okay, and then I'm going to tie a knot. Squish it to the end as much as I can. I'm not making it a super tight knot, because basically I don't want it to pull back through. And then those 2 ends, ideally I'm going to get those through at the same time. There we go. And then you just need to tie a bow. And that's how it will stay shut. That was far too much twine. Oops. And then just to finish, I've got some stamping and a little bit of die cutting. So there's a scrap of Whisper White. And the Rooted in Nature has got, it's a double set, which is magnificent. It's got this one here, and it's got this one here called Be Strong, Be Happy, Be You, which I think is lovely. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to go for one of each of those. That's these lovely skeleton flowers. I probably ought to cut this down, so I'm going to go for, ooh, what size shall I go for? I don't know, did I make that a square? I did. So I'm going for 1 7/8 by 1 7/8 of an inch. So I've just used, what I've used is my grid paper to measure it up. So, did I say 1 7/8? No, 1 3/8. I thought that was a bit big. 1 3/8 by 1 3/8. So that's about 3.5 centimetres. So, get my block. And I want a block where I can see all the way around the edge. Line that up. My Minute Macaron ink. Oh, I didn't put the lid on my glue. Oh, that's outrageous. Be strong, be happy, be you. And then, I'm not gonna, well, that one will fit. Okay, so for one of my skeleton leaves. Probably would get the other one on, but I want to, no. I want to die cut them separately. And then the smaller one down there. And what I'm going to do now is bring in my big shot, and so I've got my dies, and we've got outline ones, but we've also got them that will make a skeleton as well. But obviously I want to go with the outline. Grab the big shot. So magnetic platform, clear plate, and the bigger one. And then the smaller one. Clear plate over the top. Oh, that is such a normal sound. Do not panic if yours does that. There's one, there's two. Shift those out of the way, put my dies back, and then finish off this box. What have I done to that? Oh, I pulled it too tight. Oops. Don't pull it as tight as I've just done. Right, so a couple of dimensionals on here. I'm shifting it off towards the bottom a little bit. And I'm going to use a mini glue dot here and tuck it away. Probably should have done two small ones like I did on my original. And one in there. Be strong, be happy, be you. Lovely. Oh, I like that, but I don't know what, yeah, I've yanked that too tight. Oops. Don't pull your ribbon too tight when you tie it up. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me. Hope to speak to you very soon. Bye.